I'm Karen Adam, the presiding judge of Pima County Juvenile Court. We made this video to help families who have never had a dependency case before. In this video, you will learn about the hearings and meetings you will be going to and the people who will be in your life. We want you to understand and be familiar with what happens in these cases because they move very quickly. You will have to do a lot of things in a short period of time. This might be the most overwhelming time in your life. Please remember that what we want most of all is for you to be back with your children and be successful parents.
As parents, we have the responsibility to provide a safe, healthy home for our children. No one wants to come under the scrutiny of others, but court involvement with families is sometimes necessary when serious situations affect the health, safety, and well-being of children. The goal in dependency cases is to resolve the unsafe situations and work towards the best interests of the children. In most cases, the goal will be to bring the children back home to live with their parents. This video will explain the Arizona procedures for a child abuse and neglect case, known as a dependency case in juvenile court. Most importantly, it will explain how working cooperatively throughout the process can achieve the best possible outcome for your children. Let's talk about how a dependency case begins. A petition will be filed, and it will allege the specific circumstances that are affecting a child's safety. The petition and initial order will be served upon the child's parents and any legal guardians of the children. Usually, the petitioner or the person requesting court involvement is a representative from Child Protective Services of the Department of Economic Security. They are often called the Department or CPS for short.
My first initial reaction when they were removed was shocked, and once the shock wore off, I was in mourning. I felt that it was completely impossible for all the hoops that I needed to jump, and I just didn't see any hope or light at the end of the tunnel. I just didn't think I could do it.
Let's meet some of the professionals who will work for the best interests of your children. First, the judge will preside over all the hearings in juvenile court and will make legal decisions regarding you and your children.
I am a juvenile court judge. Judges hear child abuse and neglect cases, also known as dependency cases. The judge in your dependency case makes sure that your children have a safe home, that everyone involved in the case, including you, is treated fairly, and that this case is addressed in the time allowed by law. In most cases, the goal is to reunify the family by bringing your children back home to live with you. Your judge will approach this case with that goal in mind. But you need to be very aware that the law only allows a limited period of time for you to make the improvements necessary for your home to be a safe and healthy place for your children.
You will see a number of attorneys during this process. Any attorney who is appointed or hired in dependency cases must receive special training. It is important that you follow your attorney's advice.
I am an attorney and I represent the parents and legal guardians of children. Although the court will appoint an attorney for parents who meets certain financial guidelines, a parent is also free to hire a private attorney if they choose to do so. Once I have been appointed or hired, I meet with my client to find out what happened. It is my job to represent my client at all hearings and mediations.
I'm an attorney and I'm appointed to represent children in dependency cases. My job is to represent the children at hearings and make sure that the court knows what their wishes and desires are. I also meet with the children outside of court and advise them.
My role is a family's case manager, an employee of Child Protective Services, or CPS. I recommend services or programs that will help you resolve the issues that led to this case. For instance, I could help you find a substance abuse counselor if you have a drug problem, or help you find a psychiatrist or therapist if you need mental health treatment.
I'm an Assistant Attorney General, also known as the AG. The AG is assigned to represent Child Protective Services, and we will appear in court with the CPS case manager. If you have problems with your services and talk to your attorney about it, your attorney will often call me so I can help clear up the problems with CPS.
I work for a program called Court Appointed Special Advocates, or CASA. My job is to provide the judge with information about your children and to advocate for your children's best interests. I will visit with your child, and I may also ask to meet with the parents. I might contact other people, such as the foster parents, the child's school, or anybody else that can help me to better understand your child.
I am a foster parent. As foster parents, our goal is to see your children return safely to your care. We are keeping the children safe during this difficult time. Foster parents can help you through this process.
Let's talk more about the court hearings. If your children have been removed from your home, the first hearing will be a preliminary protective hearing. Right before this hearing, you and your attorney will attend a pre-hearing conference led by a court facilitator.
At the preliminary protective hearing, the judge will enter temporary orders for placement, visitation, and services. At the end of the hearing, the parents are given notice of their rights and responsibilities in a dependency case. If you have any questions about the preliminary protective hearing, you should ask your attorney.
Throughout your case, Child Protective Services will help you maintain a relationship with your children. Your case manager will arrange visitations or schedule times where you'll be able to meet with your children in a predetermined location. You may also want to ask about telephone calls and sending cards or letters. Your case manager will keep you informed about your children, such as how they're doing in school and whether they have doctor's appointments.
As a parent, I found it really hard to be away from my kids. I made it a point to go to every visitation. I brought them things to the visit that they enjoyed, like their favorite snacks or a toy. It helped my kids feel better.
The next hearing is the settlement conference, and it should be held approximately 30 days after the preliminary protective hearing. The purpose of the settlement conference is to determine whether your children were subject to abuse or neglect. Although this hearing can be considered a trial, there won't be a jury.
At the settlement conference, the AG may present evidence to support the allegations of abuse or neglect listed in the petition. Your attorney and your child's attorney may present evidence too. You may admit to some or all of the statements in the petition that your child was abused or neglected. Depending on the facts, the judge will make findings concerning whether the children had been abused or neglected.
You may decide, after talking with your attorney, that you disagree with the allegations in the petition. If so, the case must go to trial. There are also alternative methods of addressing disagreements in the petition. You may be referred to mediation, which at this point in the dependency case is called a facilitated settlement conference. If there are still no agreements regarding the petition, you have the right to a trial.
You will be invited to a child and family team meeting, also known as a CFT. These are usually held once a month, and anyone who is involved in your case and anyone who is supporting your family can attend. In most cases, attorneys will not attend the CFT. The CFT is about the services needed for you and your family to be successful in completing your case plan.
I was nervous going to my first CFT meeting, and I guess I was a little resentful. I was afraid to bring up my personal problems, and I was worried that the team wouldn't listen to anything I had to say.
At one point, my attorney suggested I bring a notebook and start taking notes. This helped me remember any requirements and helped me organize my thoughts. Even though it was tough, I eventually developed a good working relationship with the team.
The case plan will identify the recommended goal for your family, which is usually family reunification. Your case plan will have specific tasks that you will need to do to reach that goal. An example of a case plan task might be drug testing, therapy, parenting classes, and observing family drug court. The goal of the case plan is what needs to be accomplished, so CPS and the judge will be able to monitor changes in your behavior that will keep your children safe. You can think of the case plan as a roadmap to family reunification.
As part of the case plan, it will be recommended that your children receive services such as counseling, tutoring, or meeting their medical needs. Not all of the needs of a particular child may be the result of abuse and neglect. For example, a child could have a speech problem and need treatment for it. In all cases, the goal is to help your children live happier and healthier lives.
Sometimes it's hard to make arrangements for services, such as counseling or mental health treatment. You need to let your attorney know if you're having trouble. They can help you get the services you need.
If there are substance abuse problems, you will be required to observe a session of family drug court. Family Drug Court is voluntary, and you may choose to join. This program provides extra support while you are working on your recovery.
You will have several hearings called dependency reviews. By law, there must be a dependency review held every 6 months, but we schedule them more often. At the dependency review, the judge reviews your progress in completing your case plan. The judge will also make sure that CPS is offering the services that your family needs for reunification.
If you are not completing your case plan tasks in the amount of time that is needed, the judge may schedule a mediation session called reunification at risk. This may occur.
At risk mediation focuses on why you are not completing your case plan tasks in the time that is required to reunify your family. We will also talk about how you can overcome the obstacles to family reunification and discuss a backup plan if you are not successful.
The next hearing that you will have is the permanency hearing. This hearing will be held 6 months or 1 year after the child's removal, depending on their age. At this hearing, the judge will decide if family reunification should still be the goal in your case. If you have not completed your case plan or shown that you have changed, the judge will order CPS to begin the process of terminating your parental rights and will change the permanent plan, which can include adoption or guardianship.
You and your attorney also have the opportunity to provide the court with information that you believe is important. Your attendance at these hearings, as with all hearings, is crucial. If termination of your parental rights is recommended by CPS, you have a right to request a trial known as a contested severance trial. At the contested severance trial, you and your attorney will have the opportunity to present reasons why the judge should not terminate your parental rights. Another option before going to trial would be to return to mediation. At this point in the dependency case, this mediation would be called the Facilitated Case Conference.
When parental rights are terminated, there is no longer a legal relationship between the parents and children, and the children can be adopted. Only in special circumstances are parents allowed to visit the children. If your parental rights are terminated, you and your children will be taking 2 different paths in life.
If your parental rights have been terminated, the children's attorney will continue to work for your child until they have a safe, permanent home. One of the ways this is accomplished is by adoption or legal guardianship, which could include relatives.
Your child's case will continue even if your rights have been terminated. Your child's case will only be dismissed when they have a permanent home. The main goal of any dependency case is to provide a safe, stable, loving home for your children. An important thing to remember is that all of us, the judges, attorneys, CASAs, caseworkers, and foster parents, are here to help and motivate you. This is a turning point in your life.
Starting now, these next few months will decide your child's future and your future as a parent. It may be difficult. In fact, it may be the hardest thing you've ever done. It could be your last chance, but it could be your best chance to provide the home your child needs. We're here to help you, but the choice is yours.